that any of us looking at those numbers can see any possibility that Ohio doesn't go the way that all the networks say it's going to go. Does this seem like a realistic thing to hold out on?
I don't see how it could happen. The northern tier of the state is heavy labor. I just got off the phone with Leo Gerard of the Steelworkers. He said that they threw everything they had at Ohio.
We have just learned that in the state of Ohio, NBC News has projected that President Obama has won the state of Ohio. President Obama has been reelected for a second term.
We did it.
With this call in Ohio, it is a done deal.
4 more years! 4 more years! 4 more years!
This election was such a crucial election. There was so much at stake, and we wanted to prove that big money couldn't buy our presidency and couldn't buy our government.
Stand up! Fight back! Stand up! Fight back!
We saw billions, with a B, billions of dollars dumped into this process, all in an attempt to really look out for the top 1 or 2% of taxpayers. Our activists and volunteers across the country, they led the best labor ground campaign that there was. And it's a tribute not only to the best traditions of our union, but to their dedication and perseverance. As early as March, we began in key areas of the country talking to members at their workplace. We had an extremely aggressive worksite program. In fact, we ended up handing out more than 2 million worksite leaflets. We were able to make over 950,000, almost 1 million phone calls, contacts through members. It was a staggering amount of work on the phones. And to see the tenacity of our members out there on the ground, refusing to stop walking, refusing not to knock on one more door, refusing not to go out in the cold, refusing to put down the phone and not talk to one more person that night before they went home, was amazing to watch.
We proved that big money couldn't buy our presidency and couldn't buy our government. And it's interesting that all that outside money basically lost almost everywhere.
Outside groups have spent $29 million in attack ads against me. What you do, I'll take the Steelworkers on my side before Exxon any day. So you know what that means.
Our heart and soul in the United States Senate is Sherrod Brown. The victory for Sherrod Brown on election night was a huge victory for the United Steelworkers.
And I know when I bet on you, America wins every single time. God bless you all. Thank you very, very much.
If you look in Indiana, and we're a big part of Joe Donnelly's victory, in Wisconsin, a congresswoman from the House named Tammy Baldwin now is the United States Senator. And Elizabeth Warren, what an amazing story. And nowhere was the USW ground game more evident, more obvious, and any stronger than it was in Massachusetts on the ground to help Elizabeth Warren.
I am not afraid because I am not in this alone. I am here with my brothers and sisters.
The other big thing in the big picture to me and to our membership and to our activists was to make sure that they couldn't hide behind this voter ID. It was in fact voter suppression. And we ended up with having 1,600 poll watchers, and we had people that were going to make sure that the election wasn't stolen by keeping people from voting or by intimidating people at the polls.
But the fight was national, and voters across the country from Maine to California spoke very loud and very clear. Now it's up to us to make sure that we don't just walk away.
So I'm tremendously proud of the distance we've traveled and the accomplishments we had, but I'm not prepared for the union to rest on that. It can't just be about us. It has to be about what we're going to do for the next generation, that we need to leave the next generation at least the same shot in life as we had.